Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name is Zach Paris. I'm the Director of Instrumental Music here at Northwest College and also the instructor of these wonderful students here in the percussion program around here at Northwest College. And so thank you for coming out tonight. This concert is going to feature some really cool music of diverse backgrounds, diverse settings. But the first portion of the program you'll notice, if you have a paper copy that you just read off of, is to celebrate 100 years of what's called ragtime xylophone music. How many people have heard of ragtime music before? Yeah, all right, cool. So this first half of the concert should put a smile on your face. If it doesn't put a smile on your face, you might be the Grinch, and we don't want you around during Christmas. Hey, but this first half's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to start the show with a piece that you definitely recognize if you're familiar with ragtime music at all. This is by Scott Joplin. This is called The Entertainer. How about another hand for Kinley Bollinger there on that xylophone solo? So this genre of ragtime xylophone music is really, really important to our literature as percussionists. The genre started in the early 1900s and had names like George Hamilton Green attached to it. And George Hamilton Green is this figure that's known in percussion world now as like, if it had to be a Mount Rushmore of all keyboard percussion stuff that happens, George Hamilton Green would be on that, and many of the pieces that we play for xylophone were written or arranged by George Hamilton Green, and he's actually from Omaha, Nebraska, which is kind of cool. I know Rob Rumbles back there in the sound booth is also from Omaha, Nebraska. We see some fist bumps there for Omaha, Nebraska. Go Omaha. But the idea here with ragtime xylophone music was that the instrument itself, as you could tell, is very novel sounding, kind of cartoonish, right? And so ragtime music, that kind of happy, joyful energy, was absolutely perfectly suited for this instrument. And so this music that we're about to play now is going to feature music by George Hamilton Green, one of the big names of ragtime xylophone music. And I'll talk more about this specific instrument here in just a moment. But this is one of his pieces entitled Chromatic Fox-Trot. And Zach is wearing a hat that's very much period authentic as well, so kudos to Zach. And that was Zach Derby, everybody. Okay, so one of the cool things that we have here at Northwest College is this amazing xylophone that you see in front of you is actually 100 years old. This is a Deegan Artist Special xylophone from around 1925 is when this one was made. So we're celebrating 100 years of roughly of this genre, but also of this specific instrument. What makes this instrument unique is that it was originally intended for solo xylophonists. Not for those playing in an orchestra or playing in a band setting, but for actual solo settings. And it was made with this rosewood from Honduras that we now call old growth rosewood, which is from very, very old trees and cut right out of the middle of the tree, the heart of the tree, where it was very thick, very dense, and got a really, really nice, warm, soloistic kind of a sound. For all intents and purposes for us in percussion, that wood is extinct. Because now that we're harvesting rosewood and using it for more things, we generally don't let trees get more than a mature age before we chop them down and plant more. The trees that were utilized for this old growth rosewood were upwards of 100 years old. So really, really cool sound that they got out of these. And today these instruments are really, really sought after. And also the sound and timbre that you get out of them is a little different than we would out of modern rosewood, like out of this marimba right here. So that instrument as well was refurbished this last year thankful for the Northwest College Foundation that they were able to help us out making this happen. But by Co-Percussion, we want to shout out Co-Percussion down in Florida. So the bars were all sent to Tallahassee, Florida. And to tune these bars, they have to shave them down completely, shave off all the old finish, all the old dust and grime, and 100 years worth of whatever was on those bars. They had to shave all that off. They have to tune them and shave off material to get the notes, the correct notes. And then they refinished it completely, and it looks amazing. I know you have the worst seats in the house possible to see these bars, but if you want to come up after the show and get to look at this xylophone, please feel free to come and ask questions and chat with us a little bit. So we're going to do a couple more tunes here for you, ragtime xylophone tunes. This is another George Hamilton Green tune that's a little bit different. This one's called Cross Corners. All right, and how about one more hand for Aiden Felker there on that one? So this last of the xylophone rag portion of the program, I'm going to play a solo that I would like to feature our piano accompanist on here as well. This is Dr. Michael Yenny. And this tune is one called The Ragtime Robin. I think it's a great way to kind of wrap up this set because it can move very, very quickly. And Michael Yenny is up for the task for fast-moving music, so this is going to be fun. I would say as well, like I said, if you'd like to come up and take a look at this instrument after the show, feel free to come up and take a look. And one more quick thank you to the Northwest College Foundation for making sure that this instrument got tuned and ready to go for this specific performance, and we plan on using this instrument a lot more in the near future as well. So here is The Ragtime Robin. Somehow I'm my own roadie. This isn't right. One more time, that's Michael Yenny over there on the piano. And he'll be out to join us on the final tune as well. This next one, we'll get some moving of equipment here happening for you too, Zach. This next one's a snare drum solo by Zach Derby. We wanted to feature a couple of our percussion majors featuring unaccompanied solos. So this is just kind of a ripping snare drum solo called Jedi Night by Pete Sapadin. And it's called Jedi Night because in Pete's drum corps days and his instruction days, if a student could play this piece, he considered them to be like they've moved on from Padawanship to Jedi Knight. So this is Jedi Knight, and Zek's gonna throw it down for us. All right, we're going to bring Aiden out to play one more piece for us here, solo piece for us. This is a piece that represents more of the classical, traditional four-mallet marimba repertoire that we would have. So we started out with xylophone ragtime music that's very much based on playing with two mallets. So Aiden's going to demonstrate here for us playing with four mallets, two in each hand, and playing chords and basically doing a lot of the things that a piano player could do as well. And so this piece, this is a whole group of pieces called the Rotations by Eric Sammut, and he's going to do the fourth rotation. This is the last rotation. So here is Eric Sammut's rotation number 4. seeing some instruments. You might be seeing some instruments on stage here that you're like, I haven't seen those since football season. Well, here's a little taste of football season for you. This is on our brand new purchased drumline equipment that we just got here this last year. So another thank you to the Northwest College Foundation for having us all taken care of and getting this awesome equipment. We're gonna do this piece as a trio though. This piece is called Oosh-Ka-Boosh, and I think really like if you ask a drummer to name something, it's always a bad idea. We're just gonna, what does it sound like? It goes Oosh-Ka-Boosh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll call it that. So this is by Alan Joanis. I first learned this piece with the University of Nebraska drumline. The University of Nebraska drumline played this piece regularly, and I just thought it was really, really cool. And these guys really loved it when I brought it in as well. So we're gonna rip on this one a little bit for you. This is Oosh-Ka-Boosh. All right, so this next piece represents a totally different drumming tradition. This is a piece that's inspired by Japanese taiko drumming, which is very, very physical drumming, lots of upper body strength involved. And so if you've ever seen, like, been flipping through TV channels and you just like your eyes got fascinated by the guys playing drums, and it was like drums on their side, and they're these giant drums, and they're playing with these big mallets. That's Japanese taiko drumming. And so this piece, we're not going to do all of the Japanese taiko stuff, but you'll see some bigger motions here and some loud drummy stuff. So we will not at all be offended if you choose to plug your ears if you're like, this is just too much. Totally fine, not offended at all. It's loud. This is a piece called Gone by T.S. Gunderson. Whew, I didn't even play and I'm exhausted. Ugh. So this next piece we did play on the band concert as well. If you were here for the college band, collegiate chorale, and percussion ensemble concert, this is a piece entitled Tesserae by Mason Lynass, and it is more of a contemporary work. We're going to finish out our set actually tonight for you with a couple contemporary percussion pieces that you're going to see some more of the four-mallet tradition happening in these, but also just like a nice mix of a lot of different percussion. So this isn't a drummy piece, this isn't a keyboard-heavy piece, it's a little bit of both, and you'll get to hear any of you know what drum and bass breakbeat music is? I see a couple, hear some whistles and stuff, yeah. So drum and bass style is this kind of hip-hoppy infused style that's really fast. And so this piece is inspired by that. You'll hear some of those drum and bass kind of breakbeat grooves from the drum set back there as well. So here is Tesserae by Mason Lynass. right, we've reached that point of our set. This is our last tune for the evening, and I do want to say some thank yous before we move on to this piece. Special thank you to Rob Rumbles, Tiss Body back there in the sound booth. How about a hand for them? Making sure all these concerts get recorded and everything. And so the cool thing with these concerts is oftentimes we post them on YouTube, and so they do live on. So if you're like, hey, so-and-so sounded great on this thing, I want to go back and watch it, it should be up there here. Sometimes it takes a few days to get it on, but you can go back and check out the Northwest College YouTube channel for that. A special thank you also, once again, to the foundation and all of our folks that are approving funds that help us here in the music department for allowing us to purchase. A lot of this equipment that you're seeing up here was purchased through that, or the xylophone that was retuned through that. And so a special thank you to the foundation. How about a hand for the foundation as well? And this last piece we're going to perform for you is a world premiere. This is fresh ink. This has never been played for anybody before, and it's a piece that I wrote and is kind of been in flux, has been in the works here for a while. But the piece is about, those of you who know the story of Noah in the Bible. Noah, of course, we know is associated with Noah's Ark, right? And he gets on the boat. The world is destroyed, but God preserves Noah and his family. That's a lot of times how we interpret that story. However, this is going to take a little bit different interpretation of the story of Noah, and that God actually, in the story, takes away all of Noah's world. So God did preserve Noah, but at the same time, Noah had to come to grips with the fact that the God that he served also destroyed all of what he knew before then. So all of his favorite restaurants were gone. His favorite leatherworking guy, maybe he wasn't a great leather worker, his favorite leatherworking guy was gone now, and so he's having to kind of start over from scratch. Maybe, obviously, if he built the ark, he had some building craftsmanship as well. I'm sure he had a beautiful house for the day. That house was knocked off the face of the earth. And so something that Noah had to come to grips with was the fact that God's preservation was greater than what he had lost in the end. And so this piece is actually a reflection of Noah being on the boat after the flood, and Noah is contemplating all of those days on the boat, but kind of from the perspective of, I've lost all of what I know, and how do I restart from here? So this piece is called After Mabbul, and Mabbul is the Hebrew word for Noah's flood, or the Great Flood. And this is also going to feature Michael Yenny on piano, helping us out once again. And I think it features a little bit from everybody somewhere on this piece. But here's the world premiere of After Mabbul. One more time, Dr. Michael Yenny there on piano. That was Zach Derby over there on the vibraphone. Aiden Felker right here on the marimba. And back there on drums and percussion, that's Kinley Bollinger. Thank you so much for coming out. If you want to come up and check out any of the percussion instruments, feel free. Thank you so much. We'll see you at the next concert.